What's up, Fearless fam? Welcome to Fearless Faith Podcast. Together with me is our special guest for today. She manages a family owned and run business. She also hosted with me from the past CFL event, and people call her an overnight PhD. We have here Mary. How are you, Mary?
Yeah, people call me
Please
an
explain.
people call me an overnight PhD. That's because I'm too smart for my own good. Basically,
So
yeah, I'm
it's
too smart to comb my
yes.
hair also.
It's a compliment, really a compliment. How are you?
Great. So we just finished our annual conference in CFL with the theme of SOAR.
Soar.
And yeah, I'm definitely on cloud nine, post conference inspiration. Very very happy to be with Cora
Yes,
again.
and finally we
Yeah,
get to do this.
oh my, I'm a rare Pokemon and a little bit hard to get. Kidding.
Gotta catch you.
Yeah,
Gotta
but
catch.
yeah, but anything for Cora first.
Yes, thank you. And what was your biggest takeaway from the conference that we had?
Yeah, it's the theme of the conference is very fitting for me, who looks very tired and haggard.
Oh,
That's why,
very fresh.
before this podcast, Tito was telling me, Mary, you should comb your hair. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna go with my crazy hair because
Let's do it.
yeah, because it's in theme with SOAR.
Um,
And one of my key takes away from the conference is when your strength wanes
Mhm.
is when God's strength um comes out.
No.
So that's beautiful, right?
It's something that if you can do it, like you know
Yes.
that the Lord is there with you and He will be your strength.
Yeah.
Right.
So my key takeaway from this conference is that where your strength wanes is where God's strength comes out.
Mm.
And for me, that was such a beautiful takeaway because as someone who's a perfectionist, or if you're someone who likes to be in control of things, you like to think that you have your own strength and that you're propelling yourself towards this goal that's beautiful and meaningful to you, and you're working so hard to get there every day. And if you draw your strength from your own, you find that it's finite.
Mhm.
And there are really times where you're just like, man, I'm so tired, like I want to give up.
Mhm.
But what's beautiful about today's conference is that they really highlighted that, at the end of your strength, when you're at your 1%, and then here comes God's strength. And it's even more beautiful because God's strength is infinite.
Yes. So that
Ah.
you can soar.
Yeah, soar and not just fly.
Mhm.
Because I that's one of the distinctions that we had during the conference, that when you're flying, it requires some sort of engine or
Mhm.
some sort of personal finite energy source that's propelling you forward.
Mhm.
But if you're soaring, you really have no control.
Mhm.
And if you're like a control freak like
Okay.
me, or if you
Like
really like to be in charge of things, you'll know that it's not really up to you. When you're soaring, you gotta just let go and let God.
yes, that's true.
So I'm a good student. I learned today.
Okay, you passed the test for
Yeah,
today's
yeah. I'm
quiz
one of the
essay.
biggest doubters of things, and today it just touched me.
Mhm.
That when our strength wanes,
Mhm.
that's where God's strength comes out. And when we hope in the Lord, our strength is renewed. So I feel that my cup is finally full
Just by
today.
attending, right?
Yes, just by
And thank
attending.
you for sharing your key takeaways. Knowing you for the past years, I also want to get to know the little Mary. So how's your
Ooh.
childhood like?
I think was I little? No, that my childhood. So I am actually the only girl
Mhm.
in a family of five children.
Mhm.
There are four boys and I'm the only girl.
Crazy.
Unica hija.
Uh-huh.
And in my case, I'm the lady boss.
Yes.
I'm not the princess, I'm the boss.
The middle child boss.
Yeah, the my brothers, if they ever watch this, they're going to deny that.
But I agree because I can see like how you influence them, or if you say something that they will really follow you.
yeah, but for me, it really comes from a place of love, really. Growing up, as the only girl, I always wanted to feel included. Because when boys play,
Oh.
they play wrestling, so I play wrestling. They play basketball, I play basketball. And one of our neighbors even called my mom.
Mhm.
Your daughter is half naked in the
Oh
basketball
no,
court.
because you were copying the boys.
Yeah, yeah. You know
So you
how
grew up boyish.
um not exactly, not exactly. It's just really the naivete of
At that time.
yeah, yeah. I was like
Oh,
seven.
yeah. Oh
I
my gosh, I can picture
seven,
out
yeah.
Summer or Natalia.
Yeah, just very thin.
Okay.
And then I had like a bowler haircut. That was trending back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bowler haircut, the yeah, like that. And then yeah, so when boys play basketball here in the Philippines, some the other team will not wear a shirt and then the other team will wear a shirt.
Mhm.
So I'm part of the team that's not wearing a shirt like all the boys. And then I got called out by the neighbors. Like,
Oh
your daughter's
no.
half naked in the court. And then my mom had to explain to me, oh, girls don't do that. And I was like, oh, but we're the
Oops.
same. We're the
You feel like
same.
it's equal. Like,
Yeah, like what's the difference with Kuya and me? It's
yeah.
the same. So growing up, it's really I always want to be included. Like I want to be included in their
Yeah.
lives. That's why I'm
Exactly.
nosy. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can see
Yeah.
how much your brothers love you. Like, and how they pray for you during our household.
Oh, yeah. It's almost my birthday, so
Yes. Birthday special, actually.
yeah, it's a mini honoring. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mar.
but yeah. And thank you for sharing your childhood experience with us. How about your student life? Like, how are you during
Mm.
grade school, high school, college?
Okay, so in college,
Mm.
I once lived in the future.
Mhm. Why?
That's why people call me overnight PhD. So, in college, I had 13
Mm.
organizations,
Oh my
and
gosh, that's crazy. How can you manage all 30?
because I lived in the future. So I had 13 organization and majority of those I had executive roles. Yeah, I was part of the board. And then I was super active in like they call me BS org. But my grades was really good too. But then I was really involved. And then so what I did was you know how some people put their watches 5 minutes in advance?
Oh, so that
So that
they'll be early or
my
on time.
calendar was 1 day in advance. So
Wow,
that's why I lived in the future.
that's crazy.
Because my day was like it was 1 day in advance. So for example, if a paper was due on the 24th, it would be ready for me on the 23rd.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's always 1 day in advance of everyone else. So that's why I was able to do
That's a
13
good tip,
orgs.
though. I didn't know
Okay,
that during my
but I
college
no longer
days.
do that.
Okay.
Why? So there was this one time where I went to a meeting 1 day in advance.
Oh no! So it's not applicable for meetings. It's
Meetings,
more
yeah,
on
yeah.
deadlines,
Yeah,
yes.
deadlines and personal readings or whatever.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I called my team, my colleagues, my teammates, I was calling them. I was, oh my gosh, you don't have respect for other people's time. I am already here in this meeting and no one's here like that. And then I realized that, you know, that's when I realized when they told me, hey, you're 1 day in advance to a
Mhm.
meeting. I think it was pushing like there's a reason why people don't do that. And then yeah, so I found it not sustainable.
Mhm.
So that was a lesson.
Oh, thanks for sharing that moral lesson
Crazy.
to that
So now
story.
you get the hair.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a wild scientist kind.
But can you share us also the first time you were in the community? Has it
Oh, the
always
first
been
time.
that you're exposed
Mm,
since you're a kid? You've seen the community when you were still a
yeah.
child?
So I think my parents were in the community for as long as I can remember.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I kind of grew up. in Couples for Christ from
CFC.
kids, yeah, kids, youth, singles, and I think the times may change and technology may change, but I think to the core it's been the same.
Mhm.
And to the core, I think it's the prayer, it's the getting to know God. So I grew up kind of in the presence of people's journey
Mhm.
in learning about Christ.
Can you still remember the time that you went to a household or to the community because it's your decision, not because it's your
Mm.
parents' decision for you to attend?
I always make the decision to go because I know they're gonna feed me well.
Oh, because of the food.
Of course, it's always about the food
Mm.
for me. And it's not just the physical food, I know there's the
Spiritual.
spiritual food in it for me there. And um yeah, but also the food is mostly good.
Mm. And you've also mentioned before that we'll be a bit serious about it.
Okay.
Like, this is your second life.
Oh, all right, yeah. So every time I give talk to in the BFF,
Mhm.
I will share about
And it never gets old. I mean, it's
all
still,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, for me, I always share my near death experience. Yeah. So when I was in college, after living in the future, when I realized that's not sustainable,
Mhm.
and when I graduated in UP, I was multi-awarded, and um you would say that, I was at the cusp of, preparing to take flight and soar and do all
Mhm.
these amazing things. Um,
Overachiever.
yeah, but then no, the God has a way of like anchoring a person. And I feel like that experience really anchored me. So what was the experience? So basically, I had a near death experience after traveling to Korea. On my way back in the airplane, there was a turbulence,
Mhm.
and um it was basically zero gravity and the plane nosedive.
Mhm.
So we were like floating, right? You're like a roller coaster, you're like floating in your seat. The plane was nosediving. And then that happened 3 times. And then so I woke up, and then the plane was nosediving. And then that was the first time. And then the second time, um the titas in the plane, they were like powerful reward and everything.
No.
Yeah, so that's when I started to realize that, oh my gosh, this is serious turbulence. And I looked to the passenger side window of the aircraft, and all I saw was whites.
What was on your mind that time?
My first thought was, pangit ng huling Snapchat ko.
Yun talaga yung concern.
Yun talaga yung concern ko. Oh my gosh. My last Snapchat post was like my photo with a pig nose. And I'm like, oh, I've been
That was
eating
the
a lot in Korea.
filter.
Yeah, it was a filter. I was like, I've been eating a lot in Korea. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. So that was my first thought. My
Because you know how people will
Yeah.
get back to your last post, right? When
I
something
know,
happens.
right? When something, and then see my Snapchat. It's embarrassing. And then the second thing that came to my mind was my last conversation with my mom.
Oh.
So before I boarded the plane, I was like, "Hey, mama, like I'm heading home like that." And then my mom was like, "Oh, we're so excited to meet you. What's our pasalubong?" And I was like, "You have no pasalubong. I don't have money." Like
You were joking.
I was joking. I did have pasalubong for everyone, but I was like, "No, you don't have pasalubong. Don't count on it." Ganon. And then yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, bye, see you." Like just being naughty and funny. And then my thought was, "Oh my gosh, in my last phone call with my mom, I didn't get to say I love you." So, that that hit me na, any moment pala, like, could be the last time you're talking to this person, and I didn't get to say what was really on my mind.
Agree.
Yeah. So that was the second.
Mhm.
And the last, I think, was the gift that God gave me. Because for someone who's like, oh, I want to be in control, and I want to for such an ambitious person, you're looking out in the world, and you're looking at things that people think are, what's important. 'Di ba? So back then I thought what's important is like, oh, you have to get the best job, like the best of everything. Of course, money, travel, all of those things. But then at that moment, when I looked out the passenger side of the aircraft and I saw just white clouds, my life flashed. And I saw the faces of every person I've ever encountered in my
Like,
life, just flickering faces really fast. And I think the whole turbulence was maybe less than a minute, or maybe it was seconds. But to me, it felt like a lifetime. It was really what do you call that? The life flashing moment. So yeah.
so what's the difference between your life before that experience and the life
Yeah.
after that?
Yeah, so after that, immediately I felt so much regret because I was someone who lived in the future, and I was someone who um prioritized the bucket list, the checklist of things I have to do, things
Or
I
you
have
have
to
to achieve.
achieve. Exactly. Oh no.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I was focused on that. But then when I had that message from God, it flipped from to-do list
Mhm.
to people's faces.
Mhm.
Now I look at people. Before, I see people as their means, to get what you want. Their means to achieve the things that you want to achieve in this world. But you don't really see people,
Mhm.
And that was the gift. Kasi after that, I started prioritizing um moments with
Mhm.
my family. Like I said, I didn't get to say I love you.
Yeah.
So, being there for my family and really seeing people. Yeah, and I find that beautiful.
And I really saw your transformation, like how you also take care of your grandmother
Oh,
right
okay.
now. I think
Mhm.
it also came
Mhm.
from that experience as well.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely. I'm learning to be more
Yes.
patient.
So, Mary, thank you for sharing
Mm.
your story with us. And if you could also invite everyone to join a community or CFL community.
Okay, so if you want to have a near-death experience,
Oh, that's
no, I'm kidding. Okay, now Carl will probably cut that out.
No, it's okay.
No, but this community is really um the journey. Like I said, I grew up in Kids for Christ, Youth for Christ, Singles for Christ, and whatever is next to that.
Mhm.
But yeah, in the community, times may change, people may change, but one thing remains the same. It's that, we are all called to have that journey, to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. And through a community, you're able to learn more about our faith and to be in the presence of other people journeying with you as well. And that makes all the difference. To be with other people who's on that journey and to be supported in that way. Like you meet amazing people like Car.
And Mary.
Not sure about that,
Yeah.
but you will find out if you join.
So thank you so much, Mary, once again.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me. And